Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right? You're thinking all the right thoughts, but you still end up with, well, just average results? It's a super common frustration, especially when it comes to investing. The thing is, the problem usually isn't about how much effort you're putting in. It's about the way you're thinking. So today, we're going to dive into a mental model that's all about breaking you out of that herd mentality.
And this quote right here, it just nails it, doesn't it? If you want extraordinary results, you just can't have an ordinary mind. So the real question is, how do we actually escape this trap? How do we develop a real edge?
All right, so how do we do it? Well, the answer is all about getting to a deeper level of thinking. I mean, at the end of the day, to beat the market, you simply cannot be the market. It's just not possible. You need a way of thinking that's more rigorous, more insightful, and yeah, a little bit contrarian so you can see what everyone else is missing.
And that brings us right to the core idea for this whole explainer: second-level thinking. Now, this isn't just about being smarter than the next person. It's really about being more perceptive. It's thinking about the second and even third-order effects of something happening. And here's the crucial part. It's about thinking about what other people are thinking and asking yourself why they might be totally wrong.
Okay, let's make this really concrete. First-level thinking is simple. It's reactive. Hey, the company's outlook is bad, so I should sell. Super easy, right? But the second-level thinker goes way deeper. They ask, okay, the outlook is bad, I get it. But has everyone else already panicked and sold off their shares? Has the price been smashed down so low that all the bad news is already baked in, making it actually a bargain? See the difference? It's about playing chess, not checkers.
So how do we start putting this into practice? Well, the first strategy is powerful because it's so counterintuitive. The whole idea is that you win by focusing on not losing. Now, this isn't about being timid or scared. It's about playing smart defense to avoid those huge mistakes that just kill your ability to compound wealth over the long.
To really wrap your head around this, let's use a great analogy. Think about the game of tennis for a second. There is a massive, massive difference between how the pros win a match and how amateurs win.
And here's the key. The pros, the legends, they win by hitting these blistering aces and unbelievable winners. They're all about offense. But in amateur tennis, the match is almost always won by the person who just makes fewer mistakes, fewer of those unforced errors. You win by just keeping the ball in play while your opponent keeps hitting it into the net or way out of bounds.
And that is a brilliant way to think about playing investment defense. It really comes down to two simple rules. First, you have to focus your energy on avoiding the big losers, the investments that can just wipe you out. And second, you have to let go of that ego-driven need to be a genius. Instead, you focus on a much more achievable and, frankly, more profitable goal, just not being stupid.
Okay, so once you've got your defense locked in, the next big step in second-level thinking is knowing where to point your attention. It's all about building a mental filter that helps you separate what you can actually know from all the distracting noise that you can't.
Think about it. So much of the financial news is obsessed with what we'd call unknowable macro stuff. What's the Fed going to do with interest rates? Who's going to win the next election? What will GDP look like next quarter? A second-level thinker just recognizes that trying to predict these huge, complex systems is a fool's errand. It's mostly a guessing game.
So instead, they focus all that precious time and energy on the knowable micro stuff. You see, you can analyze a specific company. You can figure out if it's a quality business. You can study its cash flow. And most importantly, you can decide if the price you're paying for that asset today makes any sense. This is where real conviction comes from, because your decisions are based on things you can actually understand and, to some extent, control.
And when you start to bring all these pieces together, the deeper thinking, that defensive mindset, and the focus on what's actually knowable, you unlock the ultimate prize, what we call the contrarian's advantage. This is where you learn to be tough, to avoid getting swept up in the latest bubble, and to actually capitalize on things when everyone else is consumed by fear.
Just picture this for a second. The headlines are all flashing red. The financial news channels are just a screaming match about some new crisis. The market is in a total freefall. The first-level thinkers, the herd, they're selling everything in a blind panic. You can almost feel the fear in the air.
And that is the moment. While the whole herd is stampeding for the exits, the second-level thinker stays calm. They've done the work on the knowable stuff. They don't just see the fear, they see the incredible opportunity that the fear creates. It's the chance to buy a great business at a price set by panic, not by actual value.
So this is the idea we're going to leave you with. Understanding all this is one thing, but actually doing it when the pressure's on, that's the real test.
So the next time the market is tanking and the herd is running scared, you have to stop and ask yourself, do I see what they see, or do I see the opportunity of a lifetime?